Welcome to the Amateur Sports TV Sports Talk Show. We are live from the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame. I'm Aaron Wilgosh. I'll be piloting you through the show here tonight, joined by some handsome colleagues here. Everyone, let's run down the line. Theo, we'll start with yourself.
Good afternoon, everybody. Theo Tutkaluk with you, host of the Manitoba Sports Show. We run those every Monday, second Mondays. Those are mostly based out of Winnipeg. We will have our next show next Monday at the Hangars location, south side of Winnipeg. We also do something called the Manitoba Spotlight, hometown sport. We were just in Pilot Mountain doing the Spotlight. We'll bring that to you later on in May. But it's a lot of fun talking to the younger crowds, the older crowds, and what makes amateur sports so interesting in Small Town Spotlight. There we go. The Small Town Spotlight, the smaller communities of Manitoba. We'll be running those through starting at the end of May.
Juggernaut, thank you so much. Make sure you catch Theo. It's a great show. Like you said, it goes over most of the things that are happening around the province. A lot of people think about hockey when they're in Manitoba, but you're covering everything. You're getting every bit of it. Jeff Carlson, you are next, my friend. This guy's going to be, I don't know what he's going to be doing, but he's going to be having fun doing it, and hopefully he'll be providing it for us soon.
Yeah, obviously I know how much it means to you guys for me to be here. So, yeah, I'm just happy that I could have come and just spend some time with you guys.
Now, just a quick background on Jeff Carlson here. I stress the Carlson. He played for the Kane Vipers. What a team back in the 93-94 era. I believe he scored 7 goals in the Junior C Championship that year.
Yeah, well, obviously. I mean, you talk about it being a team, but really the team is just there to support me, and to make sure that I can do my job and score all the goals that I need to score.
There is no I in team, but sometimes there's a me if you spell it right, I guess. Jeff Carlson, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to be with us for this foreseeable future until I can pull some strings and have him schluffed off somewhere. I don't know. Thanks, Jeff.
Okay.
Kevin, yourself. Oh, sorry, Jeff.
Sorry, I just wanted to let you know, if you do want to talk to me after the show, I'll sign an autograph for you, $30, and I can do that for you.
Do you have any Kane Vipers T-shirts? Because those are seriously rare, and I would love a signed one.
No, you'll have to.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks a lot, Jeff. We'll see you whenever you decide to show up again. I love it. Kevin, my cohort here tonight. He's going to be leading us through some great interviews. Introduce yourself to the crowd here.
Yeah, I'm Kevin Larson, and of course we're here again at the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame. You can see behind some of the more recent inductees behind us. I see 2017, 2018. So just thank the town of Morden for letting us be here. But yeah, we have a bunch of people lined up from all walks. We have Where Are They Now later on, talking with an athlete that played locally and now plays far away. So be interesting to catch up, see how it is, as well as the rec director, some other people with different sports. So really looking forward to the show, seeing just kind of the town of Morden as well as all the sports going on in and around Manitoba.
Thoughts on the Baseball Hall of Fame here? This is a beautiful, the Access Event Center, first off, is just a beautiful building, but they've really got something special here inside of this place.
Yeah, I know. I have one kid here. I've brought both of them here, and there's a play place for the kids so you could do things. They have a dinosaur fossil in the basement, and then of course here in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Baseball Hall of Fame is free to come into. You look around, you can see all the great. They have stuff going back early 1900s. Just a huge range of baseball Manitoba retro jerseys. I don't know if you can kind of see them on the side of the camera, but I'm sure throughout the evening you'll see some. And just if you haven't been here before, again, there's something for everyone. Even if tournament between games, come on down.
You basically outlined it perfectly. There's some beautiful artifacts here. That's the best way to call them. Some old gloves, baseballs, some real nostalgia back in the day here. And a lot of people think when you think of a Hall of Fame that it's been running for 50, 60 years, but this is still fairly new in Hall of Fame standards.
And the one thing you have to remember that a lot of sports Hall of Fames you go to encompass a lot of sports together. Talk about hockey, baseball, football, soccer for a general reason. But this Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame is one of 3 in Canada. There's only 2 others, one being in Saskatchewan. The bottom line is this museum is solely dedicated to the Manitoba baseball players and what has grown and how the sport has truly grown here in the province of Manitoba. And you look, like you said, behind us, we have our inductees from 2017, 2018. Some gold eyes are in here. Corey Koski's got a little spot here on the wall and a lot of great bats. And you wonder how all these gentlemen and these ladies back in the day could catch these balls with the little gloves they had. I mean, God willing, you got to have hands of absolute cement, but a little bit of cushion because you got to hold on to that ball. So well done here. Great to see. Definitely a sight to see. 12 months of the year. I mean, it's open year round. There's ice here. The ball diamonds are right next door. So definitely come and check out your baseball Hall of Fame here in Manitoba.
Thanks so much for coming in and joining us here tonight, Theo. Much appreciated. We got Joe Witcher from the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame coming up next. We'll be back with more ASTV Sports Talk in just a few moments.
If you take the first mortgage you're offered, a high interest rate could take your travel budget and send it packing. Before you choose a mortgage, take a second look. Get serious about your mortgage. Contact Case Financial Group today. If you take the biggest mortgage you can get, you might find your budget can't support other important costs, like buying furniture. Don't let your mortgage weigh you down. Get serious about your mortgage. Contact Case Financial Group today.
Sports TV Network. You can see us on YouTube, Facebook, the website will hopefully be coming through to your TV screen soon. Right now, like I said, I am joined by Joe Witcher. I have your title written down here, Museum Administrative Manager with the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Correct.
You're also a Hall of Fame member. You were inducted
1999.
in 1999 as a coach.
That's right.
Okay, now let's just take a look at your coaching career, man. 45 years you were coaching baseball. You've been through junior. You've coached Canadian championship teams.
I have, yeah. It's actually 63 years now.
63 years now. Are you still with the Modern Mohawks?
No, but I'm still coaching ball.
Okay, what are you coaching nowadays?
I'm coaching a U13 18 PBA.
Okay, so that's obviously just getting started underway here.
Just getting started. Just picked our teams a couple of days ago.
That's awesome. The young ones are always when you can teach them the most, I find. They really develop well at that age.
Well, I coached the AAA Pee Wee team last year, and I didn't get it this year. And I was talking to my grandson. I said, he said, don't be disappointed. He said, look at it as an opportunity to teach somebody else.
Exactly.
So, yeah, so that's what I'm going to do.
Awesome. You must be looking forward to the spring then. That's good stuff. Let's focus on the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame here. Running since '97, I believe it was incorporated.
Incorporated in '97. First 2 years we did not have a museum, so we had a banquet in Brandon, and then this opened in 1999.
And that's when the official grand opening for the Baseball Hall of Fame was open. Do you happen to know how many members offhand are inducted into the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame?
Well, the first few years it was a catch-up, so we were inducting 20 guys, and now we're inducting 8, 7, 8, as you can see on the background there.
Baseball, Manitoba, they go hand in hand, especially in the Prairie Province here, Pembina Valley area, even out to Portage in the Central Plains. Baseball's a hot ticket item around here.
Very hot.
And
Altona, Winker, Morden are really hot spots for baseball.
And people from all over Manitoba are in this Baseball Hall of Fame. You'll find them from Winnipeg all the way up to Flin Flon and stuff.
All over. What the requirements is that they have to be born in Manitoba or employed in Manitoba for 6 years. So we have a couple of colored guys that came up when their colored refolded in the States. A lot of them played for Carmen, Brandon, Minot. A lot of them colored guys that came up.
Wow, that's a complete change of the game once those guys come up.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
Now, the Baseball Hall of Fame, how does this operate? I mean, you guys are almost a non-profit type thing.
We are a nonprofit. We're incorporated. Our two big fundraisers are our induction banquet every year. We have had up to 600 people at it.
Wow.
Last year was just below 400. So that's one of our main fundraisers.
That's coming up, right?
Coming up June 1st. Yep. And the other one is what we call a patron program. We used to have a life membership, and then we've changed it over to a patron program. We solicit from members every year asking them to give us $50. Unfortunately, it's always the same individuals that are being asked for. What our problem is the teams. We have, say, 30 teams inducted, but we never have their contacts. Once they're inducted, we never hear from them.
That's it.
30 teams at $10 each, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, of course.
But we can't connect with them.
Well, you heard it first. Come on, if your team's in the Hall of Fame here, you got to get in touch with Joe. Start paying your dues. Let's go here. Help this place out.
$50 a year, that's all it's going to cost you. Otherwise, we're going to take your name off.
Oh, I love it. So much to see around here. Do you happen to have anything that really stands out in your mind at the Hall of Fame that people need to see?
Oh, yeah. The mural on the side over there was painted by a local artist. She knew nothing about baseball. She had the plate the wrong way and everything else, but then she started looking at things, looking at pictures, and yeah, that was quite expensive. Very well done. What I wanted to say from the past to the present. So we started off with a little bench and cornfields, and then as it moved into, then it got more color, it got color, and the billboards on it there, we charged the guys $50 one time only.
Perfect.
Now, there is a couple really other interesting. In the other room, I have a uniform from 1900.
Wow.
Yeah, from 1900.
119 years old. What is it made out of?
Damned if I know. It's heavy and it's hot.
It's heavy and it's hot. How did they play back in the day? It's wild.
You know, and there's a few things interesting on it. There's a couple holes on each side. I keep asking everybody, what's that for? Anywhere from air conditioning to bullet holes. But really, the most we could come up with, there's two on the side, on each side, two in the back, is braces that they wore underneath their shirt, suspenders. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing we could think of.
Keep those pants up.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have other things. In one of these display cases, there is a summons for unlawfully playing baseball in the streets of Nipawin in 1906.
No way! That's incredible.
And the kid that got the summons was 7 years old.
Just for playing baseball in the street.
Yeah, I don't know why. There was only 2 streets in Nipawin at that time, I think. Maybe even one.
Maybe, yeah.
What did they do? Break windows or scare the horses or even use the horse for the ball? I don't know.
Who knows? That's incredible. I mean, to think that it took till 1999 to get something like this going here in Manitoba when baseball was really such a big factor in the province.
You know, a long time ago, every weekend you could have gone to a tournament.
Yeah.
Every weekend. And there was a few hired guns in Winnipeg, a couple good pitchers that, went to one tournament one day, went to another one another day. But it all started with a name by the name of Gladwin Scott. He had the vision to do this. Maybe he's seen Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan started first, and he got a committee going. And then there was a problem of where is it going to be?
Yeah.
So he came back and said, I got a spot. It's in Nipawin. It's in the basement of a medical center. Going to be open 2 months a year. Another guy come back and says, you know what? He says, would you look after this? I said, well, sure. So then then there was another guy on the committee, and he come back and he talked to the mayor and everything. He said, why don't we have it here? Yeah. So that's where it got here. The advantage is that the town has been very good to us. We don't pay any rent. We don't pay any utilities.
That's incredible.
The other place was going to be 2 months, pay rent in the basement. So.
Hey, and couldn't ask for a better place for it to be in the town of Morden. I mean, this place loves baseball.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
All right, Joe, thanks so much for your time here today. ASTV Sports Talk. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll be back with some more interviews with local people from around the province here. Stay tuned.
And we're live. So where are they now? I'm here with Aaron Brunn, right here from Morden, Manitoba. I saw you looking at your phone there. How is your playoff pool doing?
Not too good, honestly. I mean, I think all the wild cards are going on in the second round, so my pool is done as soon as Tampa Bay lost. So, not good.
Yeah, I was hearing that from a few people, just totally messed up. But what can you do? But anyway, so Aaron, you're from here, from the area, midget, and even a couple of years junior. So we're going to go back to your time with the Pembina Valley Hawks, midget hockey. What would you say did you learn then that you still use now? Now that you're in Manitoba, or sorry, you're no longer Manitoba Junior, but back now in junior hockey.
I think when I was in midget with the Hawks is probably when I learned I realized I wasn't going to grow anymore, so I think that's where I learned how to use my size and really trust my feet, stay on my feet as long as possible, and make the shooters, react before I do. And that's obviously something I still use today because, I didn't grow very much. So I think, just that was the biggest thing, just learning how to stay on my feet.
Yeah, it's kind of when you midget, when you know how big you're going to be and how blessed you're going to be. So you were called up in the 2015-2016 season for a single game, and then the next season you weren't called up at all. Of course, that's up to the Pembina Valley. No, sorry, that was up to the Flyers. Did something like that, is that normal, or were you kind of disappointed when you weren't called up the following year?
Well, I think when I got called up, I was only 16, so for me that was really exciting, and they had a goalie that was injured, so that's why I was able to get called up, and then. The next year I was disappointed, not to get a call up. I was hoping to, be there full time, and, it didn't work out. But I think it just honestly depends on injuries and the health of their players, and when guys go down. And, they were fortunate, obviously, that their goalies stayed healthy. So, I stayed in AAA, and I think looking back, that was probably the best for me. I didn't have to miss any games there, and I was just able to play as many as I could.
And you actually went on to be first team All-Star that next year. How did that feel, being the best in Manitoba?
It was an honor. I was really surprised when I was given that. We had a really good team, so that helped, and great D-core, great forwards. We kind of fell short of our goal that year, so to be given that award, I was truly honored. But I think I was also really thankful my teammates and my coaches giving me the ability to play. So, it was a true honor, but couldn't have done it without the guys.
Yeah, and then you're picked up by Winkler Flyers. Was it kind of exciting that you only had to go to town over to play your first year of MJHL, or were you kind of like, oh, I want to go out somewhere else?
I think it was exciting. Growing up, I've always watched the Flyers and idolized a lot of those guys. So it was exciting. And I was really excited and glad I was able to do that. There was obviously a little bit of nerves just being from here and having a little bit more pressure on me, but it was, in the end, it was a good thing.
Now, then you went from Winkler. You're actually out in Nova Scotia now. After some pretty decent stats here in Winkler, was the move kind of a shock to you, or did they kind of talk to you and say, "Hey, this might be happening"?
It was. I probably went like 3 weeks without playing, so I was really looking at everything, and when they phoned me out there, I was really just ecstatic to get the chance to play again. So there was a lot of nerves, and oh my goodness, I'm moving halfway across the country. So but it was exciting. I was really thrilled, and it ended up being a really good place.
Yeah, and here in Canada, you think about the move. You're coming from the dead center and you're going to the extreme coast. That's almost the width of Europe, so people from other countries don't really understand just the difference. What do you think is probably the biggest difference just living there versus here?
The ocean probably. It wasn't as cold either. So when it was really cold here, it was nice and warm there. I was kind of, giving it to my buddies back home. But yeah, it's not as big of a place either. It takes about 4 or 5 hours to drive all the way, from one end to the other. So, but it's just beautiful out there. Beautiful, landscapes and beautiful hiking trails and the ocean's there, right? You can't beat that, especially for Manitoba. You don't see that too often. So for that experience, I was really grateful.
Yeah, we're joking before about the hills and the water and everything. So indeed. So now your season didn't end out the greatest out over there. Are you kind of looking forward to next season, thinking to turn around? Do you think it was because of the move or just maybe a weaker team?
Yeah, we were a very young team, and I kind of knew that when I was going there. But they really treated me well, and they give me a great understanding of what their plan is. So they hired a new GM and a new head coach, and he's got a great resume. I think he's really going to turn the program around. Bring in some good players. So for me, I know I'm looking forward to it, getting back there, and I'm hoping that. Every guy's a little older this year and more mature, that we can build off that and bring in some older players and obviously have a better season.
All right, so this is where are they now? And now you're in Nova Scotia. What do you think after your junior career? Where do you see yourself?
My goal has always been to play college hockey, whether it be U Sports in Canada or NCAA in the States. So that's really what I'm going for this year. Trying to send out some stuff to schools and just get a look and try and get an offer down there to help cut some of the costs of going to school and play hockey at the same time. So that's the end goal after this year.
All right, well, thanks for being on, Aaron. I'm Kevin Larson here with ASTV. Stay tuned. We'll have a special guest with Theo Tudaluk. He'll be talking to Rod Collins, so stay tuned right after this break.
ASTV Sports Talk with Theo, here with Rod Collins, General Manager, Pilot Mountain Hockey Academy. We have a pretty big weekend coming up. Rod, tell us about what's going on this coming Saturday and Sunday.
Well, we have a combined camp, boys and girls, at various times, obviously, and information session on Saturday as well. So they'll have at least 4 ice sessions for our boys and girls. And we're looking forward to the prospects of these players coming in for our program for next season.
So for next season, roughly, how many prospects do we have for the male and female teams showing up this weekend?
Well, we're looking right now about 30 boys and up to 20 girls, so we're pretty excited about that.
That's fantastic numbers. Now, for these prospective players and their parents, what will they see from the Hockey Academy that's pretty important that they see this weekend?
Well, I think the big thing is our 1 o'clock information meeting on Saturday. We'll have our full staff here explaining our program, our 10-month program, explain our school situation, our travel, our leagues. We will also have a teacher in here from our school to explain our school policies and position and how we teach and work with our kids, which is an important part of our program, obviously, is education. So it's a huge information session and open to questions, obviously, from parents. We talk a lot about our expectations of kids, our expectations academically as well as on the ice, and their performance based in as becoming good citizens in our town here.
So for the kids that are showing up, will it be more impressive to see what they do on the ice for you? Or is it something where you've already seen enough action on the ice for these prospective players?
Well, obviously we've scouted some of these players. We know what they can do on the ice. Personally, I like to sit down and interview a parent and the kid to get a better idea of their personalities and find out if they are really committed to the work it takes to get where they want to go eventually in the game. It's dedicated kids is what I'm looking for, and good citizens, good character kids is another very, very important thing to us.
So the strength of the character, how they play on the ice. Lastly, what does it take for a player here at Pilot Mountain to really be a part of the community? And how important is it to they understand the importance of community efforts here with Pilot Mountain and the Hockey Academy?
That is a huge part of our program. I've been at Shattuck St. Mary's, I've been at Notre Dame, I've been at Wenatchee, I've been at other academies as a teacher coach. We try and make this family. These kids are important to us, whether it's in the dining hall of the school, at the rink, doing their community service hours. Those are important things to us. And most of the kids that come here, and you can ask any of them in the interviews, that they feel part of this family here. We make them get involved in the community. Everybody in the community obviously knows them. We're not that big, obviously. So it's an important aspect of our program is to have those kids involved in the community, good citizens, good in the dorms, good in the kitchen, associate with our cooks, our dorm parents, our coaching staff. There's a very good relationship here.
So this Saturday, starting at 1 o'clock, 4 ice sessions. If they can't make this weekend, what's the next step for prospective players?
Well, actually, we start at 9 o'clock on Saturday, but the information session is 1 o'clock. Players that can't make it, and some I've already indicated they're coming from some distance or out west. We're talking Spokane and Seattle and so on. They've already been in for visits, and we do open this up to students who can't make this weekend to come contact us or make arrangements to come in at another date, skate with our team, visit the school as a shadow with one of our students to see what we're about, have meals with us, even stay in the dorms with us. So it's a process of getting to feel comfortable with our program.
Well, Rod Collins, thank you very much for this time, and we really hope you have a great weekend with the prospective and the incoming students for the 2019-2020 season starting this fall. Thank you.
Thank you, Theo.
At Collins Hotel, we have you and your family's comfort in mind. Relax in one of our 16 suites featuring king or queen-size beds and 36-inch TVs. Suites also include a mini fridge and other kitchen appliances to make your stay as comfortable as possible. During your stay in Pilot Mound, visit Weiser's Restaurant, our attached family-friendly restaurant and bar. It is the perfect location to host group meals, dine with the family, or unwind after a hockey game. Come in and meet our friendly staff offering daily specials on food and drinks, wing night Wednesdays, buffet Fridays, and multiple TVs to watch the game. Weiser's is the place to be. Collins Hotel and Weiser's Restaurant and Bar, located across the street from Black...
Eat!
Meet.
Stay!
Canad Inn's destination centers are your home for hospitality, with 10 locations in Manitoba and 1 in North Dakota, featuring the finest in accommodations, food and beverage, entertainment, banquet and conference facilities, and so much more. For the best service and best value, your only stop is Canad Inns. Call today at 1-888-33-CANAD or visit us right now at Canad.
At Super 8 Winnipeg West, we have your comfort in mind with free Wi-Fi and free daily Superstart breakfast. We also have guest laundry facilities, a state-of-the-art fitness center, and a jetted hot tub. Sleep well in a spacious guest room equipped with plush new bedding, a 50-inch flat-screen HD TV, microwave, mini refrigerator, and Keurig coffee maker. Or book a suite with a kitchen, ideal for extended stays. Super 8 Winnipeg West, located just inside the perimeter on Portage Avenue.
Welcome back to ASTV Sports Talk. I'm Aaron Wilgosh. Thanks for tuning in. We've had a couple of great interviews so far, and right now I am joined by two pretty big wigs here of the Border Baseball League. We got Jack Pethybridge to my left right here. He's the general manager of the Carman Cardinals, and Brent Laverty, you are with the Morden Mohawks. Now, the Mohawks, they lost in the championship last year. I hate to hash up old things, but let's quickly get it out of the way. Are you guys ready to take the championship this year?
Yeah, I think everybody on the team is ready to turn the page after last year. A bit of a sour note to end the season on, but again, that's a sign of a healthy league when everybody's got a chance to win any night, and that definitely happened. But as you say, we're ready to turn the page and get the season started.
Jack, first year back for the Carman Cardinals last year. I mean, you didn't have a positive season over 500, but still a positive season being in the league again.
Well, a bunch of guys got together and reformed the team, and
there was lots of guys in our community that looked at the Border League. We had enough players, and we wanted to make sure it was local players. We picked the name Cardinals in respect out of the original Carman Cardinals teams back in the 50s. So I think it was a very successful year, just getting a group of guys together and playing, and we were fairly successful in the league, being our first year in. This year we look to do even better, maybe meet Brent in the championship. But
of course, like you said, though, a couple of guys, they get together, they form this idea of getting a team back in the league, and now you've kind of taken that extra step here to try and get some extra help with a board of directors for the Carman Cardinals.
Yeah, what we've tried to do is basically the team last year was just run by the players. So what we've done is gone out and tried to get some volunteers to help with the team. A couple other things that I wanted to note that our diamond was in pretty bad shape, and we're doing work on our diamond starting this week, rebuilding the mound. And we've also, I've ordered a brand new scoreboard. We had a couple of sponsors, our area foundation and Newman Hand Agencies, came forward and offered to donate proceeds to go towards a scoreboard. So we're going to have a better diamond to play on and a nice new LED scoreboard. So
wow, it's really taking off then, these communities right behind you guys.
Well, there's a lot of interest in it, and we found that from last year, starting from nothing, and we built a fan base, and there's been a lot of talk this winter, and a lot looking forward to the season this year. And it's good for the league as well to expand. Like adding Altona to the league is one more team, and so I think it's great for Southern Manitoba to have a good caliber of baseball like this.
And that's exactly what it is. This is great caliber baseball. These are junior players that are looking for something to keep playing and keep that competitive spirit up. And now, Brent, you talk about the league growing and how Carman came in and now Altona came in. This is just going to improve everyone's entertainment factor with this baseball, including the fans and the players.
Yeah, for sure. It's always big when you can expand, especially when you find a lot of the leagues around are potentially just stagnant or even contracting. The Border Baseball League, again, we've added 2 teams in the last 2 years now. So it's a big thing, I think, as for the league as a whole, for the fans, for the players, sponsors, especially when you see the excitement amongst the players. I hope that gets the fans excited and gets the sponsors excited, because, again, without them, the league really will fail to kind of survive. So, as I say, it's something that we're really excited about, and overall, growth is always a good thing.
Now, you've played, you've coached, you've watched, you've been a part of baseball basically your whole life. What goes into this? What are these players putting into playing on this team? This isn't like a junior team where they're getting sticks paid for and things like that. These players are doing it all themselves.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the sponsors are a huge thing, as I've said before, and without them, again, we could probably fail to exist. But yeah, having the guys show up and they're playing, we don't get paid, I don't get paid, they don't get paid. So it's money out of their pocket. But it's also the players going out to the sponsors and trying to find sponsorship, whether it's signs or advertising on jerseys or things like that. But yeah, I mean, it's for the love of the game, and it's just being able to get out there, pay their money, and kind of have especially in senior baseball, have that chance to kind of keep the dream alive and just play as long as you can and as long as you enjoy it.
Now, Jack, how do you see senior baseball developing here in Manitoba? Obviously, continuing to grow in the border leagues. It's just something that seems to be coming back in full swing.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of interest in baseball, more so lately, and I think it's as guys come up through baseball, they want to continue playing. And, the guys that play on our teams are guys that are committed to baseball, but they also work full-time jobs in that too. And I think once you see a senior team in there, we have a midget team, then I think it helps attract more younger kids to baseball. One thing we're doing in Carman too is we're building there's a fundraising campaign going on to build a bunch of new baseball diamonds there too, which would be good because it'll be a feeder system to the older players and to senior teams. So we hope to be around for a long time.
Now, both teams obviously involved with the community. Does Morden, do you guys have any fundraisers or anything coming up you'd like to shout out maybe?
Well, like I say, we usually do kind of couple different draws during the season, fundraising draws. So, we go out, try to sell tickets in the community. And again, it's for things like paying for the diamond, umpires. That's an expense that every single team in the league has. That, again, the gate that we get from our player, we don't necessarily charge to get in, but we always go around with a hat and try and raise some money that way. But realistically, it's different draws we do during the season that we just sell at the games and then to people in the community. Yeah, the umpires is probably one of our biggest costs. costs. Nowadays at the senior level, most guys have their own equipment. They buy their own helmets, buy their own baseball bats. But it's, again, the umpires, when they're, they are a cost, and they're a cost that every single team has. And so that's where a lot of the fundraising dollars go to.
Now, this isn't like softball. You're not chugging a beer before you round first. This is some high-quality baseball. And when you're out, you actually see the crowd's support. Like, this is small-town community baseball, and it's something that continues to grow around the province. Carmen, you're looking into your second year here. How did it start off? How did you guys go from an idea to 10 players fielding a team?
Well, it was just a bunch of players got together and said, do you think we can do this? And can we get enough commitment from a number of guys and find some sponsorship to help us get some uniforms? And like Brent said, like most of the guys buy their own equipment and that too. So they just thought maybe we can make this work. And I think last year proved it was successful.
There you have it, the Border Baseball League. It's going to be getting started very shortly, actually. These two teams will be kicking things off in the exhibition season May 10th in Carman. So if you're looking forward to some baseball, you'll be able to see it very soon. You are watching ASTV Sports Talk. We are going to hop over to Kevin now. He's actually got the Morden Rec Director, Stephanie Dewick. This segment coming up, though, it's brought to you by Backwoods Boiler Boys.
I'm here with Stephanie Dewick. You are the rec programmer here in Morden. How are you this evening?
Doing great.
So we're just going to get right into it. Talking about some upcoming events, you guys have swimming lessons and summer camp. The sign-up is soon. Can you tell us a little about that?
Yes, sign-up is on May 15th at 6 p.m., and people can register online or in person from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at the Access Event Center. We already have our schedule posted online for swimming lessons, and summer camps are coming up soon with info, but they will include sports camps, park days, adventure camps, a whole bunch of fun times to have with kids in summer.
So you don't have to be interested in one thing. There's something for everyone from the sounds of it. Speaking of, we're also talking about, it sounds like, again, something for everyone, but a lot of the community uses either the rec center or something that the rec center puts on. You don't have an exact number, but would you say it's a fair guess to say that probably everyone at least knows someone who uses your facilities?
Yeah, I would say so. We host a lot of events, and then there's all kinds of sports and fitness classes. We have the Baseball Hall of Fame, which draws people, and the Fossil Discovery Center. There's many reasons for people to come to the Access Event Center, and yeah, people love it here.
Yeah, I know. That's my kids. They always look, they have the big mosasaur and downstairs, and that's definitely something for everyone indeed. You have Learn to Skate coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, that's right. We've had a request for learning to skate for adults. So we've put together this family program so people can come ages 5 to 99. So you can come with your whole family and learn to skate. It's run by volunteers. So we're looking for some more volunteers. If you're interested, you can join us. It's a lot of fun and super rewarding to teach people how to skate for the first time. And we're also opening it up anyone who wants to register. It's $15 a person or $30 a family, so it's not going to break the bank.
And I'm sure if you're 100 or over, they'll let you in as well, not capping it out at 99. That is a good thing because, again, this whole area, there's a lot of new people to Canada. And we always joke, my family anyway, that by 14 you don't know how to skate, we kick you out. But we like to give a little leeway and let people learn. You have first aid and the babysitting course as well. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, we have first aid courses coming up in both May and in June. It's a great thing to have on the resumes, so you can find details mordenmb.com. And we also have a babysitting course coming up July 4th.
So important classes, especially for kind of preteen teens. Just really good, a lot of knowledge. And now here's a big one that I think is great. You have a mental health week. Can you tell us what that entails?
Right. Mental Health Week is May 7 to 11, and it happens every year. It's a Canadian Association for Mental Health puts it on, and communities across the country put on events. So in Morden, we have workshops, programs, free fitness classes, and some keynotes coming up. Our main keynote will be Sonia Funk, and she is speaking on some of the triggers that can affect our mental health.
So that's good. I know we always have Bell Let's Talk. I think that's in February, but it's good to kind of have these things throughout the year. And of course, sports and recreation is such a big part of that, so that's good. And then you wanted to give a special shout out to kind of maybe a sport people don't know too much about, but the mountain biking.
Yeah, I was just in Country Cycle in Winkler, and their Kids of Mud program is coming up end of May or mid-May, I think they're starting. And it's a mountain biking program for kids. So if you are interested, you can find details on Country Cycle website or in person at their store in Winkler.
All right, so there's a lot going on. Again, it's all on the website. There's contact information. There's also table tennis, I notice, every Tuesday night. I think I saw yoga classes. So there's a lot of everything here. Is there anything you specifically enjoy the most out of all these activities?
Right, well, I enjoy, fitness classes and table tennis, and I love being at the lake, so looking forward to swimming once it gets a little warmer. But you did mention table tennis, and I just wanted to let people know there are outdoor table tennis tables located at the Access Event Center and at Lake Minnewaska. And we also keep one up here in the Access Event Center. So if you want to just go buy a cheap paddle and a ball, you can go and play in any of these locations.
Yeah, I think Dollarama, I'm not from here. I don't know if there's one in Winkler or Morden, but there is. There you go. So I know for sure they have balls, and I'm pretty sure I've seen paddles there. So no cost is not an excuse, so come down. Well, thank you, Stephanie, for being on with us, for letting us know. Again, check out the website for all this. There's too much to kind of remember at one time. There's a lot going on this summer. Summer's a great time for that. So check out the website and just get involved, do something, have fun. Remember, if you are willing, if you know how to skate and you want to even if you just hold someone's hand, they need more volunteers, so sign up for that as well. Kevin Larson here at ASTV. We'll be right back with Daniel Roca Lopez from the Morden Soccer Association, so be right back after this.
If you take the first mortgage you're offered, a high interest rate could take your travel budget and send it packing. Before you choose a mortgage, take a second look. Get serious about your mortgage. Contact Case Financial Group today. If you take the biggest mortgage you can get, you might find your budget can't support other important costs, like buying furniture. Don't let your mortgage weigh you down. Get serious about your mortgage. Contact Case Financial Group today.
Welcome back to ASTV Sports Talk. Again, I'm Aaron Wilgosh. I am joined right now by Daniel Roca Lopez. He is the president of Morden Minor Soccer. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Let's just quickly, a little bit about yourself. How long have you been the president, and what sort of things go along with being the president?
Well, this is the second year that I've taken over this role, and before I was just doing the marketing and advertisement for minor soccer. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
That's what I saw on the website. It said you were in charge of photography, so it hadn't been updated yet since then.
Yeah, we need to change that, but yeah, we're working on it. We're doing lots of changes this year.
Yeah, and like you said, we were just talking off camera here, just about sort of things that are coming up, and one of the things is registration. You guys are moving into an online registration, and that's really going to smooth things out for people.
That's right. We want to try to move away from that hassle to have people coming on and late. So everything's going to be online. And we'll have an app that will be pushing updates, like weather cancellations and stuff like that. So we're trying to move into this century. Finally.
See, and that's huge because you get those app updates where it's like the field's in no condition to have a game tonight. Things are canceled. It's blipped right to your phone. People don't have to worry about it. So really taking things forward for you there, Morden parents. It's going to get a lot easier. Now, Morden Minor Soccer, this runs in age groups, in grades basically. Maybe you can break down how kids get grouped.
That's correct. We go from K to 10th grade. 10 to 10th grade is a mixed league, and K to 1 is also mixed. The rest of the grades are just boys and girls broken. Yeah.
And you do have boys and girls programs. They're not mixing everyone together.
Yeah, in the middle, Only K to 1 is mixed, and 7 to 10th is mixed. The rest of the grades are all boys and girls.
Okay. How many players would you say you have playing soccer here in this area, in the Morden area? Probably a lot.
Yes, fortunately it's been growing, and we're hitting around 400 kids per season. That's correct, and we have kids coming from different areas around here too.
Now, how something like this doesn't work without volunteers, parents helping out? I can only imagine you guys are always looking for people to help out.
That's right, yes. This year we need a lot of help, like many other years too. We need help with people helping with coaching, reffing, equipment, and things like that. But this is supported by our parents and volunteers.
Now, this isn't a huge time commitment. People need to understand you're not asking them for 20 hours a week. This is just helping out and bringing a lot of laughter and fun into some kids' lives.
That's right. We only need people that is passionate about soccer and, of course, the kids. And, it's just a one-time, like the equipment is just a one-time thing. And we hope that you guys come up and really help us this year.
Now, fields, I mean, are you guys all set with number of fields? Like, you guys don't run into cancellations for practices because of overbookings, things like that?
No, fortunately, we have the support of the town. Here with the Access Center, we use these fields and we use other fields. But it'll be good to have an indoor field, and I think there's plans in the future to work on towards that, and we're really excited, and hopefully it happens.
Now, we talked a little bit about this, but people are always looking for different competition levels, and some kids might be a lot better than other kids at their skill development age. Do you guys maybe have any travel teams or AAA teams, as they would call them?
Yeah, we have a travel team. They just take kids from grade 12 and up, and they go traveling like Carmen and towns around here. Yeah.
Cool. And so that would be a senior team.
Yeah, it's not the grade school. It's not the same kind of soccer, so it's more advanced. Okay. But they're older kids.
Okay. And registration, when's that going to be happening? You got to assume kids are going to be getting out there soon.
That's right. May 1st, open registration, online only.
Okay. Now let's break this down maybe for some of the parents that maybe aren't as technologically. I can't even speak apparently. Yeah. Aren't as good at computers. Yeah. So is there maybe someone that they can get in touch with to maybe register in person if it comes down to it?
Yeah, if you just don't want to go through the online registration, which is going to be really easy, and again, I said there's a lot of advantages towards using that system, but if you have to drop off things in person, you can just email at info@MordenMinorSoccer.com, and I'll contact you, and we'll arrange a drop-off.
And are you guys also on Facebook and things like that as well?
We have a Facebook page too on Facebook, facebook.com, Morden Minor Soccer.
Awesome. What sort of costs do go into having a child play? Is it more expensive for someone, say, in the higher age group than the kindergartners?
No, this is one of the cheapest sports that your kid can get into it. It's $45 per kid, so it's pretty affordable. We just have an extra fee if you want to volunteer, and you just need some shoes and shorts and ready to play.
You're good to
play. Yeah.
It's one of those sports that does not cost a lot, but we really need to stress the importance of having people come out and volunteer. Like, you guys really do need these.
That's right. Yes, we need a lot of help because, like I said, there's many little jobs that you can do. It's not a throughout year thing. It's just a one time in September or the beginning of the season, and we really appreciate if you can come back and help us.
Referees, coaches, anything you can do to help out, get in touch with my man Daniel here. He's definitely going to want to help you out because they want to keep growing Morden Minor Soccer. It's what you're trying to do. You want those numbers to continue to grow, and like you said, it's something that has been happening.
Yes, we want to have more traveling teams. We want to have an indoor soccer field, so we need to start getting this culture of soccer in the area. We have a lot of immigrants that love to play the sport. It's easy to play, and come on and have fun.
And one thing we don't talk about a lot is what soccer does for you in other sports. A lot of hockey players play soccer. A lot of football players play soccer. Getting that footwork down is really important.
That's right. We have hockey players that come and play because they don't have the season going on, and it's a good sport to work. It's pretty similar to hockey too, even rules and all that stuff. So if you're in another sports and you want to try this one, this is a good place to start. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining me here today, Daniel. I'm Aaron Wilgosh. You are watching ASTV Sports Talk. We will be back in a few moments. Thanks.
If you take the first mortgage you're offered, a high interest rate could take your travel budget and send it packing. Before you choose a mortgage, take a second look. Get serious about your mortgage. Contact Case Financial Group today. If you take the biggest mortgage you can get, you might find your budget can't support other important costs, like buying furniture. Don't let your mortgage weigh you down. Get serious about your mortgage. Contact Case Financial Group today.
All right, Kevin Larson here, ASTV. So we got two special guests here, not players this time, although they both play, but actually two who have won reffing awards. We have Tori Thiessen, who won Ref of the Year, and Darby Olsen, who won Rookie Ref of the Year, so first year. Unfortunately, Paul Temmerman, Ref Mentor of the Year, is not able to join us, getting sick tonight. But welcome, Tori and Darby. So first I'm just going to ask, what got you into reffing?
Well, the mentor or the referee in chief told me I should do it, and my dad did it when he was younger, so
I just thought it was always interesting helping other kids out and just seeing what they are able to do, I guess.
All right, so you just kind of, okay, sure, I'll do it, and helping out. Do you guys enjoy reffing? You both play. What do you think you enjoy more? Do you still enjoy playing more, or do you kind of like reffing more these days?
I enjoy hockey more. That's kind of why I ref, because I like hockey.
I think I like hockey, but they're both pretty equal.
Getting pretty equal, so maybe as it gets a little bit harder to play, maybe time commitment, it'll be like, hey, I like reffing more, but that's good. What's the highest level of hockey you both have reffed?
My highest is a AA Adam game. That's as high as I can go.
All right, so AA Adam and Bantam. Now, Darby, you said there was a rule that you didn't really know until you're kind of studying reffing. What rule was that?
That novice is half ice.
Oh, novice is half ice. Yeah, I guess if you never really thought of it. Was there any that kind of caught you off guard, or nothing really? Okay. So as you keep reffing, do you plan on continuing to the higher levels, or just kind of sort of if they need you, you'll do it, but not really long term?
I think if they need me, I'll do it, but yeah.
I'm thinking of school, kind of.
All right, and then something we do want to talk about is always good, and that's talking about just kind of bad games where you kind of wasn't a good game to be a ref. You said you had one, and I guess the question I guess I have, because I want to bring it to people's attention when they do, kind of yell at refs, is do you know about how long it kind of bothered you, like a day, 2 days, a week?
It usually goes about just the whole rest of the game, just so you can kind of think about what you've done or what kind of mistake you made, and then at the end of the game, it's over. You don't have to worry about it anymore.
Okay, so that is good. So, but it is something to kind of bring up, is that when you guys are refs and you have to look everywhere on the ice and you make a mistake and you're yelling at them, you guys are the guys they're yelling at. They're not machines, robots. So it's something to keep in mind, that when you mentioned that, I just figured I'd send that to everyone watching at home, just to keep that in mind next time. So is there anyone you guys want to give a shout out to that you're on TV?
Mel Hunt, he's great. Representee. He's just great. He helps me get into this reffing, and it's awesome.
All right, we're going to send it back over to Theo.
Theo Tutkalek here, back with you from ASTV Sports Talk in the beautiful Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame. We've got a couple of guys from Morden here joining me. They've known each other for quite some time, since high school, played against each other, played with each other on the same team, and now they're looking forward to their future endeavors after what has happened and transpired in the SJ. To my left, your right, Cade Kowalski. To my right, your left, Garrett Zaremli. Gentlemen, talk to me about your first amateur days here in Morden, Manitoba.
So I started out just playing Morden Mountain hockey, and after that played high school in my grade 10 and 11 year. After that I went to grade 12 and played PV midget AAA with Garrett, and that was good. Playing with this guy was pretty fun.
Garrett, you got the same story?
Yeah, pretty well. Grew up actually getting dominated by the Morden Hawks. Played in Thompson, Manitoba, and then ended up coming down here and finally getting on the winning side and playing with a couple of my best buddies, Cade Kowalski and Aaron Bruin with the Pembina Valley Hawks for a couple of years, and here we are now.
And here we are, well, sort of here. Then you gentlemen both went over to the SJ and had a couple of years, a year and a half for you, Cade, with the Weyburn Red Wings. Real quick, Cade, some of your stats I was looking at, over a 0.2 goal or assist points per game. Not bad. You also had a SJHL Rookie of the Year honors and the rookie team for the 2017-2018 season. And not too far behind, Garrett, was yourself and the wonderful awards and accolades you received. Tell us about the Community Ambassador Award that you received while with Weyburn the last 2 years.
It just was recognized by RBC as a community ambassador. Ended up getting nominated by the Red Wings just for kind of work throughout the community and stuff. And, we're always volunteering there. So it was nothing I really expected or anticipated or anything. It was just kind of something that I got nominated for. And yeah, we have a lot of fun volunteering. So it definitely doesn't feel like work. Fantastic news.
Now, going back to you, Cade, definitely the point man. The point getter. Like you said, 1.2 points per game. Your offensive qualities as a centerman, what part of your game improved so much that it's taking you to your next step next season?
I don't know, really. I'd say just thanks to my coaches in Weyburn and Flin Flon. They helped me improve more so on my 200-foot game rather than just my offense. They knew that my offense was going to come and that I'm a playmaker, so got to give the guys a puck, and they helped me work on my physicality and also my defensive skills.
So definitely a shout out to the coaches there for both squads. Now you said the 200-foot game, that goes without a great saying. Forecheck, backcheck, paycheck, hopefully coming up soon. Tell us what's happening next year for you, Cade. You got an amazing offer. You talked about still 8 players in the SJ this year receiving offers. Tell us where you're going next year and how excited you are.
So I'm going to Ferris State University in Big Rapids, Michigan. It's in the WCHA in NCAA. It's Division I, and yeah, I'm just excited to be there. I went down there for a visit. It's absolutely amazing. They blew me away, so I'm looking forward to working with their coaches. They've been there for about 28 years, I think. Their head coach and their assistant coaches, so they know what they're doing.
So definitely got a tradition there at Ferris State. A lot of tradition, a lot of camaraderie. Good luck to you next year. We're going to hold off for one more topic here. Going back to you, Garrett, not the points, but it's more the physicality and the PIMs I recognized on the stat sheet. 115 PIMs this year, 3 goals, 12 assists. Your physicality and you're holding that defensive part of the game. Were you that guy that everyone feared on the blue line? Or were you one of those guys that was more of like a passive-aggressive, don't wake up the bear kind of defenseman?
I don't know. I think it probably depends who you ask. I think some people might tell you I'm the least tough guy in the league, but if you ask Cade, he'd probably tell you I'm the toughest guy in the league. So I don't think I'm overly tough, but I think the physicality part's a big part of my game. Just kind of playing against guys like Cade, playing big minutes and playing that part of the game rather than the offensive side is more so my thing. So yeah, I guess it depends who you ask.
Okay, so we'll keep asking that question. Certainly no babyface tough guy to my right, but I do have to talk about a serious situation here. Last year, these two gentlemen beside me began a fundraising initiative because we did face a tragic scenario at the beginning of April last year with the Humboldt Broncos. Gentlemen, tell me what you did here in the city of Morden to raise the awareness and help with that situation in Humboldt, Saskatchewan.
So when it started April 6th, we kind of heard through the grapevine what was happening there in Humboldt on the way to Nipawin, and we were just all in shock. I remember texting Garrett, like, is this really happening? And we just wanted to be able to do something for them. So we came up with the idea of just having a day for them to, you know, kind of fundraise money and give it to them. And we decided to do it later on in the month, and we did a nice little fun day for the kids, street hockey and skate on the ice and then paint on the ice. Then after that, we had a steak and spud and then a little social after. So it actually generated a lot of money, and you know, we can't thank this community enough for obviously what they donated towards it.
We talk about small town spotlights over and over and how much a community really rallies around these fundraising programs. Now, Garrett, tell me where you're headed off to next year potentially and what you look forward to in continuing your hockey career, perhaps not with the SJ, but perhaps somewhere else.
I'm hoping to join the Minnesota Magicians in the North American Hockey League next year. If I can get my release from Weyburn is kind of the plan right now. So I'm hoping to go down there, and it's a different league. It's a different style of play, a little more skilled than I'm used to in the Saskatchewan Junior League. So it'll be a transition, but I'm excited. The team's young this year, and they're making a run. So next year I think is going to be their year, and it'll be really cool to step in and hopefully contribute with all that.
So watch out for Garrett Zaremli in the NAHL. That offensive defenseman is going to break through, I have a feeling. And for Cade, congratulations, Div 1 Ferris State. You're going to make waves, maybe in a little bit, but you're definitely going to build that speed and that confidence in years to come. Thank you for joining me both, gentlemen. Real quick before I get you off the hook, is Toronto going to win tonight?
Yeah, they better, or else.
Absolutely not.
All right, so we got 2-0 Boston right now, so we're going good. We'll leave it at that. Thank you again for joining us, gentlemen. And we're going to throw it right away to Kevin and Aaron, and they're going to end off the show for us on the Manitoba Sports Talk here on ASTV.
Thanks so much there, Theo. I had a great time here tonight. Kevin, why don't you just let me know what happened over here since we weren't together all night long?
Yeah, well, at first I started out talking to Aaron, just from the area, just moved to Nova Scotia. Kind of a big change. Actually, he just had a birthday last week. I forgot to wish him happy birthday, but 10 days ago, I think. So 20 years old, he moved halfway across the country in 1,500 miles. Kind of a big change. We talked to him.
No kidding.
Yeah. I talked to Stephanie, the programmer here. We talked about the programs. A lot of programs here in Morden. Of course, it's a great facility and around the town as well. And especially their Learn to Skate. We talked about needing volunteers, so just challenge people. Hey, you don't have to know how to teach someone how to skate to teach someone how to skate. You just kind of hold them up, and maybe
it's not that tough.
No, if they're maybe not the young kids and the really old, but kind of those middle-aged people, you can make fun of them a little bit too, as long as they're trying and they know it's in good nature. And then of course we had the two refs, Tori and Darby. Again, both of them winning awards, ref of the year, rookie ref of the year, talking about what they're doing, enjoying reffing. Of course, we kind of did the shout out, hey, these are the guys that are reffing when you go off on the refs at a game. Of course, again, if you're in the older leagues, then they're a little bit older, but still, it doesn't give you an excuse. I was talking to them kind of before that. A lot of kids their age, they have a bad experience, and now in the older levels, they don't have enough refs because they've quit because of just, at that age, some parent yelled at them, and it's just like, that's not good. So again, great for them to be on the show, and just kind of wanted to bring that up, bring awareness, because I know Hockey Manitoba, I've heard in the past needing more refs that age, but also cool that they can get recognition. We didn't have their mentor here, or the ref mentor of the year, but there's people that'll help them learn that. So I thought that was really great.
Ref hate is strong. Some people just don't know how to treat them, but luckily things are starting to change, and hopefully those refs are starting to get a little more support from the fans. I'd like to thank Joe Witcher. I had him just running this place, the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame. This place would be a dusty pile of cobwebs if it wasn't for him, so a big thanks to him for coming out. I also had two bigwigs with the Border Baseball League, and Jack Pethybridge with the Carmen Cardinals, and Brent with the Morden Mohawks. That season is coming up. May 10th, baseball in Carmen, Morden and Carmen taking each other on. That's going to be an exciting matchup. Theo's here. Big thanks to him for showing up again tonight. And, of course, my final guest was Daniel Roca Lopez. He is the president of Morden Minor Soccer, and they are desperate for volunteers as well, people. Get out there. Help out Morden Minor Soccer. It's not a lot of work. You get out. Soccer is the sport that people played before real sports were invented. So get out there, kick a ball around, help some kids, and have some fun. Amateur Sports TV, this has been incredible. We've got some shows coming up. Why don't you let people know when we're going to be out?
Yeah, so we have the Amateur Sports Show. That'll be April 29th, May 6th, and May 13th. So that's not us. That's the other
our
show.
host,
Theo. And then our next show will be in Lorette on May 7th. And then in May 21st, we'll be in Stonewall. And I'm excited for that because Stonewall baseball, that's kind of my thing. That's when you see me more. I come out of hibernation. So feel free to tune in. Of course, that'll be online as well.
Awesome. Well, I'm Aaron Wilgosh.
Kevin Larson.
Thanks so much for tuning in for the Amateur Sports TV Sports Talk Show. We'll be back in a couple of weeks live from Lorette, the Scorpions. Get ready for us, Lorette. We're coming.